What's up, Kabroda crew? Welcome back. Hopefully y'all are doing well today. I'm back in it for another... Press wrong button there. We're back in it for another jump into checking out the trades today and seeing what we got going on. So hopefully y'all are ready for that. Looks like we got Terry here in the chat. If y'all are joining in, just make sure you say hi, hit that like button. Helps us get out to more people. But yeah, we're here for another Monday. Looks like we got a possible breakout today coming in, so we'll see what happens here. Yesterday we actually ended up breaking up. Oh, Kathleen just popped in the chat, so good morning to her as well. Yeah, got a little possible breakout here. It's kind of coming up, kind of coming in to kind of slowly coming in. We'll see what happens here on this 8:30. Again, we always got to wait for that 8:30, 8:45 candle to see what's happening with the market. But yeah, looking pretty good there. Yesterday we had a little bit of a fake out to the downside, and then we ended up breaking up to the upside. You could have took the downside, I guess, and just gotten out of it. Hard though, because of the the close on the downside. The first close, the candle was already down basically at the bottom, so you would have ended up kind of taking the bottom and then it ran up. I don't think there was a trade yesterday on the downside. Here, let me check. I don't think there was actually a trade either way. Okay, no, there was a trade. No, there wasn't. It was too small of a gap, I think, if I remember right. It was 0.49, so not really a trade either way. If you did just take the the 5% gap or close to 5% gap to the upside, then you could have made a trade there, as long as you didn't get in too early in the morning. But again, that's before 8:45, so or 8:45 my time, so 8:45 CST, whatever that is for you. That was before that. So really, if you took the close above and stayed in, you would have made a decent little trade there. We'd be looking at something like this. So a little over a 1-to-1, not too bad, depending on how you took it, I guess. You could have took it right up to that resistance there if you're crazy good, or you could have gotten out somewhere around here, you know, at a little over a 1-to-1 for pretty much, well, let's see, that would have been 7 hours. So really not too bad, you know. You could have taken it off pretty much any time. You still could take it off, you know, if you still were in it. You could still be pulling it right now. Be making a little, maybe closer to a 2-to-1 there. But yeah, not a bad little trade if you were in it. Congrats on that win. Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit outside this system, you know, but it was close to that 0.5 gap. So overall, it was a pretty good trade there. Yeah, now we're kind of sitting up here at the top. We're making a little bit of a bullish flag here, looking to break out to the upside. We're looking for a possible breakout to the upside, really, I guess is a better way to say it. So we'll see how this thing kind of plays out. We really need this top to kind of break and show us that we're going to close above that resistance before we see any kind of flip to the upside. And we'll kind of jump into that as we check out the battle box. Yeah, I guess let's head on over there and check that out and see what we got going on for today in terms of what the radar has to say. So flip on over to that screen, and this is what we're looking at today. So longs are still favored across the system. We got a 0.12% gap to the upside on BTC. So yeah, not a great if you're just looking for the gaps. Like I said yesterday, though, the gaps are starting to become more of a item on the checklist. So if they're not, you know, you might have every other box checked besides the gap, and that's really what we're looking for to take something. There is a downside trade to the downside, not favored by the system, but it is a downside trade with a 3.94%. It says jailbreak, but if you look at the chart, it's actually not a jailbreak. So yeah, it's actually a magnet trade technically. So I don't know why it says jailbreak on there, but there's definitely a breakdown to the downside there on BTC possibility. Ethereum, we have nothing really, a little 0.28% on the favored one, and then on the favored long for Solana, we have a 0.39% as well. So, you know, we'll see what happens here with all three of them. But like I said, BTC is looking like we're going to break to the upside, even though we do have a low gap here. So we'll go ahead and launch this. I already have it open in the next tab, so I'll just head on over there. This is our BTC, I forget what we call this. Yeah, we have it open though, so it's in here. Basically, we got our two trades for today. There is the gap's only good enough for a short, so that's why the short's on here. But there is a possibility of a long, so again, that's there. And then down here is our new section that we've been adding. So, you know, it looks a little different than it did yesterday when we were making our live stream. Kind of changing it up a little bit. Looks like Spirit Maker just popped in the chat, so welcome, Spirit Maker. Thanks for joining up. But yeah, this is our new little thing here. So basically, what this can do is this can ping live data for the liquidation heat maps that we were talking about yesterday. So essentially what we can do is when you ping the live data, you can see how the trade is doing. So as you can tell, it's definitely looking at that short, telling you that target 2 is the most likely liquidation point to get hit. However, basically what we've kind of learned and what we've kind of been looking at is that when you see liquidation kind of get taken, or points of liquidation kind of get passed, you'll actually see liquidation kind of flip around. So that's why we made this live, because in the morning it says we're more than likely going to come down and hit this target 2 on the short, it doesn't mean that we necessarily will, because basically what this live vortical verdict right now is saying with the death zone crater is that if we break through the crater, which is essentially the it's essentially the longs breakout entry point, so like the green line on your chart. Well, it's a little above the green line. It's actually another line that we have. It's the daily resistance today is really what it is. So if we break that and close above that, then there's a possibility this could flip to saying it's a speed bump, which basically means that it was a liquidation point that we could have had a problem with, but we're kind of went over the speed bump, and so now we have free range to go to the upside now. So we'll keep pinging that. All you have to do to ping it is you just click on it and then see what it says when it comes back. So it's obviously the same. Yeah, still the same. So still greater there, and we're still waiting. We'll see what happens after this 845 candle. We'll come back and see what this thing says, but that's what we're looking at. So honestly, if we can get over that, we'll be looking more for that long. We'll see what this says. But if we don't, then we're still going to be looking for that short. I know we've been calling a short for the last couple days. The charts are kind of screaming at us, telling us that it's time to short. But the market just keeps running, keeps going up. Still in a bit of a run. Institutional, traders and stuff like that are still longing. So it's still flipping to the upside. Haven't really had the chance to be able to short it yet and get a good short. So we'll see what happens. It really depends on what the next couple candles look like and how it kind of plays into it. So go ahead and check out the site if you guys haven't already. Lots of new things coming, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more new things kind of coming in the next couple days. Just check it out, see what you think of it. Let us know in the comments if you guys like it or if you don't like it. Especially with the new system, you can kind of see, like, maybe you're not a big fan of the liquidation map thing, or maybe you're all for it. Maybe you think it's a pretty cool thing. So I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you think, and then it'd be just nice to hear your thoughts. So let us know in the comments. We'll head back to our charts, and I'll kind of show you more of maybe what I was talking about a little bit here. So essentially what I was saying is that crater is actually this zone right here. So this dashed red line. It looks more yellow as we get over here, yellow or orange, because it's underneath this other indicator. So I think I could actually move it down. Yeah, that didn't do nothing, so I'm just gonna leave it up there. But it's this one right here, even though it is kind of orange. Basically, it's that's going to be our crater line there. So if we get a close above that, there's a possibility we'll get a little bit of a flip or resistance. We'll start to show resistance, liquidation, up here at 80,000 or so. I guess it is technically resistance as well. And then that'll be maybe a possibility to continue running. We'll have to see where exactly the resistances kind of fall in. I can kind of open up some things and see what we're looking at. Yeah, so there is some at 79,100. There's a little bit after that, 80,000 or so, but not a whole lot. If we flip this, I guess there's a possibility that we continue up there, but who knows for right now. For all we know right now, this could be a fake out breakout, so you want to be mindful and be a little careful as you're looking at this until we get that speed bump flip. There's not a whole lot of point of just jumping into this thing early. Yeah, and I mean, we're still waiting for that 8:45 candle close. We got about 2 minutes before that happens, and then from there, even less, it's about 1 minute now. From there, we can kind of see what's going on. Are we going to continue up, or are we going to break down? We'll see. Get some water. About another 30 seconds here, and then we'll see what this candle says. Yeah, the hard thing is it could go either way still. You know, you could patterns. This is why we don't like patterns too much. Is what you could see with this pattern is you could see it break to the upside, right, and everybody jumps in right here. Because they're all like, oh, we broke to the upside, we just got to close. So great, we'll jump in. And then price action never really said it was going to continue up. So we just get the flip and it breaks back down. And then anybody that got in gets stopped out. And we go down to where we actually were going to go the whole time. Let's head back to Kabroda, though, and see what the thing says now that we've closed above. Still says greater. We'll reload the site and ping it, see if it says anything different. Yeah, still says crater, so definitely thinking this could be a little fake out breakout to the upside before we flip down and come back down into our short, probably for the downside. The short is calling a pretty good gap, though. It's calling a 74.8 is the bottom there. So basically that little short that we were talking about yesterday where we came down and hit this resistance here, that's going to be our main resistance there for those shorts. So if we were looking at a short, we take it off of our breakdown level here. Put a stop above the 30-minute range there. Technically, it's actually right here. But I would kind of throw it like that. And then you're taking it down here to the support here. So you're getting about a 4-to-1, almost 5-to-1 if that ends up happening. But again, we could be flipping this this level here right now. So it's kind of up and at 'em still. Who knows? We'll pull up the heat map here and see what that says. So we'll go to CoinGlass. And then we're gonna go to liquidation heat map. Check it out. So we do got some forming above us. We got a little bit here at 79,100. That's kind of where we were saying earlier. There's a tiny little bit of 80, so you can see still not great in terms of, oh, are we going to come and get it? There's definitely a lot more below us, especially a lot sitting around 77.3. a lot kind of all the way down. You can see that 74.8 is kind of down in this zone. Interesting, you know, how it calls it. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see where we end up going. But we will have to kind of break down, fall through a lot of this zone, and then come into here if we're going to break down. So we'll see what happens here. The chart's actually starting to get a little bit of a flip here, looking like we're going to break back down to that level. We'll see. Candles turning white for me, I guess red for most people. Still got about another 11 minutes or so on this candle to see what happens here before we flip. Yeah, either way, really. Yeah, we just got to keep checking out the Kabroda site, seeing what happens. Sorry if I sound weird today. My throat's a little bit sore. I think from allergies, but I'm not sure. And I'm a little stuffy. That's probably from allergies, though. Or if y'all can hear the dogs. I don't know if you can hear the dogs, but they're being kind of loud. They're not a big fans of anybody like walking by our house, you know, on the street or anything. Like to run over there and bark. Especially if somebody comes to the door, then they really don't like that. Another 10 minutes or so on this candle. Kind of all over. You know, looking like a little bit of a Darth Maul candle here. If we don't if we don't start to continue either way, it's looking like a Darth Maul candle. You know, we got a little, came up, made a high, and then we came down, made a low, and we kind of settled right there in the middle. That'd be kind of, you know, it's like his lightsaber idea. You got a little bit on both sides, and then your body is just kind of sitting in the middle like a handle. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah, it's weather's a little cold here recently. Had a lot of rain actually. I guess it's just storm season here in spring, and so there's a lot of kind of just, you know, constant storms kind of rolling in, with it being a little cold and you know, not yeah, with it being cold, it's just been, it's not really like cold, I guess. It's like 60 something, but I mean, we were starting to get up into the 80s. I don't think we hit 90, but maybe we did. 80s, 90s or so. It was getting pretty warm, and then recently we kind of dropped back down to more of that 60 range, sitting around, you know, in the cool. It's actually pretty misty today. It's kind of wet and nasty looking like that. Yeah, we're breaking up a little bit. Definitely just playing us safe. You know, we're not really. I'm thinking more of maybe we'll get a breakup this morning. Maybe we'll kind of come up in this range here. Your stop's gonna have to be pretty low. So, in terms of, you know, where's your stop gonna be? Um, your stop's gonna have to be below down here. So the risk to reward for just going up to that 79 100 level is not too great. That's definitely the first zone we'd kind of be looking at taking out. So yeah, in terms of a long, it's kind of starting to play out, but again, not a great gap, and also not great for risk to reward. So, and that's saying something, because we like those 1-to-1s or something, or anything really better than that. So I was saying it's a bad risk to reward. It's just not too great. And you could tighten it up, and you could play it a little bit, but your risk, I mean, it depends, I guess, if you're looking at risk as like risk to reward, like where's your stop at risk, and you're just saying, oh well, my risk to reward's just, I'm putting $100 on and I'm standing to make whatever, or if you're looking at it more as risk to reward, like how risky is my stop, like is it actually probability, is it probable that it's going to come down and hit my stop, and that's what's bad. So to have your stop actually be good, you have to have it out pretty far, and so the trade just wouldn't be good, because you're not looking at that, you're looking at that. So 0.5 or less. I don't actually know where your stop would have to go. If you're taking it, your stop would want to be under 77.3 or so. So yeah, like 0.33 for a little up move, not great. Yeah, Spirit Maker says he wants a 0.5 or better. Yeah, you just want a good one, and like I said, you could move this up. Like you'd be like, oh well, I'm gonna take it and put my stop like that. And it's like, okay, that's great, for the way that the money looks, but in terms of how risky or how likely is your stop to get hit before we run up to that, it's pretty likely, honestly. Because you don't have anything really protecting you in terms of TA, besides the fact that you're like, oh, we're already running up, and so we're just going to continue running up. That's really what it goes into. And you could have said, I would have said the same thing if you took it like this. It's just not enough of like it could have easily just come down, hit you out, and then came up and broke to the upside. So and that would have been too early to get in. You really didn't know it was going to go up until well, really to this candle. So even if you got in at the best point in that candle, and you took a stop below the 30-minute range, you still could come down and get hit out right there, because there's just a big gap basically in liquidations between here and here, which means these resistances and supports that we have on here just don't have a lot of merit in terms of how well are they going to hold the price. So price could just come down and hit you out and then flip and try to break to the upside. So yeah, we'll keep our eyes on this today. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot going on though, besides, like I said, you could just kind of check out this, see what happens, see if we hit that 79.1. If we do hit that, we're probably going to come flip and break down, but we'll see. Charts have been pretty bullish lately, and we just keep pushing up. There's definitely play for the downside too. So if we do start breaking down, then that's the play we're going to take, because it's kind of been setting up. It's been telling us it's ready to go down. It's just we got to kind of wait for everybody to be done going long, I guess, before we can break down. So And that hasn't happened yet, so really, yeah, just sitting around, we're waiting, hanging out. Yeah, just enjoying not being in a trade today, I guess, for right now. You don't have to trade every day, remember? Not trading's sometimes part of the system, you know? Sometimes the system tells you to stay out, so you just stay out all day. And right now, yeah, the system did tell us to stay out, so we have not taken this thing. Yeah, we'll see what happens here, though. Again, see if we got our flip here on this thing. Oh man, we're in a primal zone now. 78.8. We already hit that basically. Yeah, we kind of flipped it already. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's calling 78.8. We already hit 78.8. Or we're about to, I guess, on the chart. I don't know if we hit it yet. 78.8 right there. Yeah, you could put on a lower amount and take a smaller trade. That's definitely a play, like Spirit Maker said. That's a little more advanced, I guess. But yeah, essentially you're just lowering your risk that you're putting on. And you could take a little more risky of a trade, like in terms of probability of it hitting you out or going up, you know, but you're putting less on, so you know you can just kind of play with it a little bit more. There was our 78.8. We just smack dabbed right into it, so we'll see what happens now. See where we come in, where we go, where we're gonna break up and continue up, hit our 79.1 that I was talking about, or are we gonna break down from that 78.8? I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to be watching this thing throughout the day. Like I said, really the short's not looking very likely in terms of, you know, are we gonna come all the way back down here and trade down? Maybe later in the day. I guess it's still on the table. It's just more than likely we'll continue the breakout, I'm thinking. I don't know, we'll see. Still really either way, honestly. You know, the chart is telling us it wants to short, like I said, so we're just kind of coming up. We're breaking some resistances up here, so we can continue up and continue breaking them and going to the upside. But eventually we are probably going to go short, and it's just how long is that going to be? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, for right now we're flipping to the upside, so we'll see where this thing takes us. Yeah, again, you know, a little boring trading day so far, but you won't really be able to take that long, really. Yeah, so keep an eye out for the short. Just stay tuned, see what you all think. Yeah, today's a good learning day, I guess. But until then, we'll just keep. Yeah, we're gonna see. Yes, there's your trade there. The official up trade right there. We got a little enter at 80, 78.3, 78.37 was your stop loss. So I guess we'll throw this on the chart, just check it out, and then we'll head out. so there's your trade, I guess, for today. That system called target 2 was the main target at 78,863. Called it a little too late though, so we weren't able to jump into it. Wouldn't have been able to get the entry anyways. You would have been more like this, pretty close to that trade that I had on here earlier, I guess, when I was saying, you know, get in here, take your entry there, and then you would I was saying, you know, we probably go up to target 3, I guess, that 79.1. Target 2 is the prime target for today based off the system, so you would have been taking it something like that. So yeah, I mean, it was there. Definitely too late. By the time you could have taken this, it was too late. It already kind of it already pretty much was there. So yeah, yeah, again, thanks for watching. We'll see what happens here. Again, we'll have to just wait around and see what happens. Let the trades kind of play out and let the market kind of tell us what to do. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, whatever that is for you. We'll be joining the we'll be joining the market with another daily setup on the Kabroda system, seeing what's going on, seeing what kind of things we can jump into, and hopefully there'll be some kind of trade here. But if not, we'll just be talking about it, and we'll go over it. We'll go over price action from today a little bit as well. There is a video coming out at 10 that goes over that a little more in depth, and then also talks about different TA points and yeah, just great things you could learn. Spearmaker actually hosts that, so if you guys want to check that out, he does a great job on that. So yeah, thanks again for watching. We'll be live again tomorrow. So we'll happy trading to y'all, and we will catch y'all next time.